when did it click that you were going to actually start making some real money?
I think for me, it was probably getting fired the first time because it's happened
any
twice.
Sense, but that's okay. I'm going to keep listening.
The reason where I say that is because I had a decision to make.
Yeah.
That I was either going to blame other people or I was going to take ownership and actually go all in. And saying I say a lot is bet on yourself.
Yeah.
And it was at that point in time where we were living in Iowa, and I was driving 4.5 hours from Des Moines, Iowa to Beloit, Wisconsin on a Monday because I was able to get leads in Wisconsin. So I was couch surfing. I was sleeping on my in-laws' couch. I was staying at friends' houses, hotels, because I drove on Monday, ran appointments Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, and drove back to Des Moines.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins, and we are in studio with a crazy special guest today, man. He is coming from north, okay? We'll get into specifics in a second. And what's really cool, okay, that I'm excited to share is he was able to scale an agency and exit an insurance agency for... We'll just call it heavy 7 figures, right? He can get into specifics if he wants to. However, he is here as a presenter and speaker for our agency operations workshop. Crazy impressive dude. Amazing story. And he's a lot like you guys that are listening. I don't want you to tune out just because I said exited for multi 7 figures, almost 8 figures, whatever. He was just like you for most of his life. I'm kind of curious, though, and we're going to find out today what changed to flip the script. So please welcome to the Power Player Podcast for the first time ever, Mike Mathweg.
How's it going, buddy? Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you, bro. You're already making notes.
Yeah.
You weren't sure if you
I have to write things down in order to remember.
Yeah, dude. Where's that? Why is that true? Because that's so true for me.
I think it stems from entrepreneurs because, like, we have a million thoughts before 8 a.m. and
True.
1% of them are good. The other 99% are just massive fails.
Terrible. But why do we think they're all good in the moment?
Because I always look at it's a dopamine hit. It's like, here's something new. Here's like, how can I, like, here's a problem. How can I solve it? And then where as like employees and non-entrepreneurs just like to say, okay, here's what we're doing. Go figure it out. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, okay, how can I fix this? How can I do this and make things better?
That's the beauty of having a team. I come up with 4,000 ideas. They hate 3,999 of them, and they tell me, and then they help implement the 44,000th idea, right?
And that's a good thing. It's like, okay, you got to have somebody in your corner to bounce ideas off of, or you're going to just do every idea, and you're going to be like, well.
Yeah.
And I don't like when people say, hey, what do you regret upon your exit? I was like, honestly, I don't regret anything. It was a big learning curve. Yep. There was some, like Dave Ramsey says, stupid tax that I paid. And I've paid all of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have
How much
too.
in stupid tax do you think you've paid?
Hundreds of thousands.
Not millions. I've paid millions in stupid tax. I'm just going to put it out there, bro.
Yeah, I don't.
Not to get competitive, but
hey, you can win that category. Like, that's all you. You can be the owner of stupid tax. I'm good. No, like the thing is, like a stupid tax I did is I tried when I was growing in the insurance business. I always thought, hey, all successful entrepreneurs have 7 streams of income, and that's 100% false. So when I was so focused on building stream 1, I was like, okay, stream 1's successful, where it wasn't. my head, I thought it was.
We thought it was.
So I was like, hey.
And then once you don't pay attention to it, it freaking crumbles.
It can crumble quickly. So I was like, hey, let's get into, it was 2019 probably, 5 years ago.
Yep.
Wait, yeah, 5 years ago. Where Amazon drop shipping was hot.
Really hot.
And I was like, hey, like somebody was like, oh, you can passively have an Amazon store. And I gave him 25 grand racked up credit card because you had to buy it before Amazon paid you.
Yeah.
So I didn't get burned on that, but I got burned on the 25. Amazon store got shut down in 2 weeks, and my passive income did not happen.
Were you one of those guys that was like, there's like, I was definitely one of those guys too, where it's like, okay, if I can take some shortcuts and get rich a little quicker and like try some stuff,
100%. I was like, okay, I don't want to say a shortcut to rich, but what's the main saying everyone uses? But just trying to like, there is no shortcut to getting rich.
Yeah,
there's not.
I would agree. There's information, there's networks, there's contacts, but that doesn't mean it's a shortcut. Yeah.
You can get a roadmap, and if you follow the roadmap, it's going to be shorter.
Yep. You can be right place, right time.
But overnight success, no.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that out there.
I would agree. Because people see, the stuff we do in the office and the studio and the team and all the stuff, right? A bunch of really cool people that are great. But I was telling somebody this today. He's like, man, dude, he's like, I want your brand. Actually, it's funny. You told me the same thing last week. He said that. And I'm like, dude, it's taking me 9 years, bro. Like December is, I don't even know if Keith realized that. December is 9 years. Like, that is insane. And you don't get there without a Keith and a Dylan and our amazing team that we have here, right? Like, that's what's cool about it. But I would say the stupid tax thing. I would say I paid stupid tax in events because I wanted to be so good at freaking events that I made the dumbest decisions and spent insane amounts of money. Like over the last, we've done 8% 7 times. We've probably spent in total in those 7 years, I would say at least it's between $4 and $5 million probably, maybe 5 to 6, but somewhere around there. And probably half of it, especially the early days, was dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I look back, I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Here's what I've been really impressed with you is the way you are vulnerable, you're raw, you're real, you're transparent. You don't get in front of a room and say, I'm the greatest. You're not like Muhammad Ali up there. You're like, dude, I'm
yeah, absolutely.
If anything, you're like, I am a moron and you can do it too. Right. Which I respect and I appreciate and I love. And our audience connects well with people like you.
Yeah.
When did it click that you were going to actually start making some real money?
I think for me, it was probably getting fired the first time because it happened. It's happened
any
twice.
Sense, but that's okay. I'm going to keep listening.
The reason where I say that is because I had a decision to make.
Yeah. That
I was either going to blame other people or I was going to take ownership and actually go all in. And saying I say a lot is bet on yourself.
Yeah.
And it was at that point in time where we were living in Iowa, and I was driving 4.5 hours from Des Moines, Iowa to Beloit, Wisconsin on a Monday because I was able to get leads in Wisconsin. So I was couch surfing. I was sleeping on my in-laws' couch. I was staying at friends' houses, hotels, because I drove on Monday, ran appointments Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, and drove back to Des Moines.
Wow.
Did that for about 3 to 4 months, totaled 2 cars within 10 days of each other. And I told my wife, I said, hey.
Totaled 2 cars within 10 days?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How do you even get a second one to total that quick?
I got T-boned in an intersection, driver door.
Jeez,
that was the one that screwed up my back for, still hurts to the day.
Dang. Is that why you walk like you're 97?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 31 years old.
He's younger than me.
And my body,
I know you guys
my
thought he was
body's
older. For sure.
Yeah.
He's younger, but his body's older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My body's pretty old from playing freaking sports for years in college and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling it today. I played ball the last 2 mornings. Are you going to come play basketball with me in the morning?
Well, I'm going to go for a hike. What time are you playing ball?
6.
Oh, got to hike. But no, like the thing is, because at that point in time, I told my wife, I said, hey, we can move back to Wisconsin. I really strongly believe this business can just skyrocket.
Why did you think that?
Because I was able to get more. My mentor at the time was I would not be in this chair today without that mentor.
Yep.
Like he was a huge believer in me, and he put a lot of time and energy in me.
Yeah.
So with that, he was able to support me via leads, get me in front of carriers to really get support and put me in the room. And with me being in the room, that was my chance to either make it or break it. And I made it. I was able to, like, if I sat through a sales presentation, I was probably closing 80-90%. Like I wasn't losing much because I was independent. I was able to offer all of the products.
Yeah.
And I specialized in the dual special need market. Like I was UHC's top 3 agents in Wisconsin every single year I was selling.
Wow.
Because I was just writing apps.
Crazy.
And the rest was kind of like after we did that, I just didn't really know where we were going. We had an opportunity to buy a book of business. And then when we bought that kind of just, I was like, okay, now it's going.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's interesting. I look back, I'm a spreadsheet guy, huge spreadsheet guy. Like
numbers nerd.
Yes, I have in our spreadsheet like our years and how much we made. Every single year to the exit, we doubled. And the area that I screwed up on, one area I screwed up on because there was a lot of screw ups, is I didn't bring on staff quick enough. Because when we sold, it was myself, my mentor / business partner, and we had one admin. Like we didn't have more sales reps. We didn't have service people. Like, and that's where like when I'm coaching my clients now, it's like,
yeah,
if you want to scale, this is where we really should go because it's going to help drive value top and bottom line.
True. Also, you talk about 3. You consult a lot of agency owners now
Yes.
that are wanting to. But do you have like, is it 3 S's? I know there's like.
Yeah. So step 1 is you got to work on the structure, because
That's what it was.
Once the structure's sturdy, like we're building a house, not a house of cards, because you can scale at any point in your business, but you can't scale effectively without a sturdy foundation.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the structure, then it's scaling. And then the third S, as of right now, it's selling. So I help people look at when they want to exit. I guide them through that transition.
Yep.
Where it cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars on our exit, trying to help other people avoid that.
Yep. What did your exit look like? And then we'll kind of back up and go through the process. But like, what did that look like for whatever you're comfortable sharing on video?
Yeah, we were just shy of. We were near 8 figures. Let's just say that.
Just shy of $10 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was.
How's that feel to say that out loud?
Looking back, and I'm like, okay, where did it all go? But
yeah,
it's just the thing is when you look at it, it's like, okay. And I tell every one of my clients and anyone that even asks me for advice, like when you sell, if it's to private equity, if it's to somebody else, and you're doing a seller note, you have to be okay with that upfront money. Because in the private equity world, they pay you some cash and some equity. You always have to look at that equity going to zero, and you have to be okay with that. I don't care if it's $3 million or $100,000.
Wow.
You have to be okay with that going to zero.
Most people don't do that. Like they brag about that piece versus just Because so what you're saying is you need to be on board with the cash portion.
Yeah. Like perfect example. Before Power Players,
Yep.
the reason I flew out a day early is because I had a meeting in San Diego with one of my clients. And I told them, I said, hey, if we get X, it's a bigger exit than I had, and you're going to get Y, you have to be okay with this equity going to zero. They're like, how would it go to zero? I'm like, okay, really, all stars have to align for a complete disaster for it to go to zero. Is it ever going to go to zero? It's probably a 1% chance. But you have to be okay with that risk. Because I call equity, and this rubs a lot of people the wrong way, it's monopoly money.
Yeah.
You might see it. You might never see it. But you have to be okay with it going to zero. So you're really basing it off of, hey, what cash are we getting up front? Obviously, you got to pay Uncle Sam his portion, which was astronomical.
What was it like writing that check?
I could have bought a beach house in Gulf Shores for what I paid Uncle Sam. And we wintered down there.
There was no way to avoid that?
Part of the areas I screwed
That's
up.
the stupid tax?
That's one of the stupid taxes.
So this is good. This is also, you guys like watching this later. Let me know in comments below how much you're enjoying this. I'm freaking eating this up, by the way. Okay, so because I've always been curious, like, so my wife and I are used to consistently paying 6 figures in taxes every year, right? Sucks. It's terrible. But we learned how to invest in real estate to offset that over the years. Still learning, still getting better, right? Nothing's perfect. But I've also heard of other avenues, right? I'm giving you ideas as we're talking. This is good, man. He's making notes. His handwriting's terrible, so I can't tell a lick of what he writes. But what is that? What are the other avenues of, like, I've heard of these weird trusts that you can like put everything in and then you don't pay anything taxes forever, like just wacky ideas, right? I don't know.
You could just move to Puerto Rico.
Yep.
But
is that what you should have done? Or you don't think you should have done that? I guess you could have bought a house in Puerto Rico.
I'll give some more background on this.
We're definitely sending this to the IRS, by the way.
That's fine. Sure. My taxes are very clear. I paid a lot of money for this accountant, which was another stupid tax.
Got it.
But the thing is, when it goes, like, I had a client call right before this, and they're preparing for an exit. And their exit is 2 to 3 years. Like, we have time to prepare. So kind of going back to my story a little bit, my mentor and I bought a book of business together, and we became business partners. We bought it 50-50. And then I want to say 6 to 12 months later, I know exactly. My son was born May 21. You'll get a good laugh. We built a house, closed on it 7 days before our son was born.
Wow.
We moved in and everything. My wife was very pregnant.
Holy crap, bro.
I think it was 2 weeks later, my business partner said, hey, I think I want to pull some chips off the table, and I want to sell this block of business. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll buy it. I was 21. That was 3 years ago. I was 28 years old. And he wanted...
So your way of coming up with, whatever, 20,
he wanted,
whatever years old was
7 figures.
Strange.
I'll say it was 7 figures.
Okay.
I was the normal American. I had credit card debt. I had car payments. I had one house, maybe. I think we may have had the Galena property at that point in time too. So 2 house payments, maybe 2 car payments. I don't remember. Debt.
Newborn.
And the newborn, and I'm going to try to find a way to write my business partner a 7-figure check to own equity in all of it.
That's hard to do, by the way.
It was very hard to do.
I just had to buy my partner out for 7 figures, right?
And we're coming up on AEP because I was in the Medicare business, for those that don't know. And we had conversations. We set conversations up with banks. Banks wanted him to be way more leveraged than he wanted to be, which 100%, like, I'm not going to buy you and then make you leverage, like, you're pretty much financing yourself.
Sure.
However, we got a bank. We did it. I think it was finalized January 1st, 2022.
Okay.
Found a bank.
Wow, that took a minute.
Yeah. So about by the time we actually found the bank, it was easy. But after going through banks, we interviewed banks, had meetings with banks, and it was probably about a 4 to 6 month process.
Okay.
We closed the deal. I got a loan for, still over 7 figures. Unsecured. All they asked for was personal guarantees.
Wow.
Like,
that's a trusting bank, by the way.
Didn't have to put up my house.
Okay, so here's I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess some facts about the bank really quick. Watch this, okay? Maybe way off, but I'm gonna take a stab just for the fun of it. Number one, it's not an extremely large bank.
That was a regional bank. Yep.
Number two, you've banked there for many years.
No.
Shut your mouth.
No. I had no relationship
That blows
with this
me
bank.
away. No.
I shouldn't say that.
Okay.
I knew somebody who knew the banker, so my network helped me connect.
That helps. Okay, that helps. All right. So because we've had some crazy examples of that over the years, but it was a small bank. We knew someone. We had been there for years. Like that was my next point. We know someone. I have the bank president's phone number. Down the street, right? For I guess Old Missouri Bank, right? I guess it's okay to say. Depending on when you go look at my accounts, there may not be any money in it. Okay, just for the record. But that's the pieces of this whole structure, scale, and sell. You consult for at this point $36K a year for agencies to learn how to think through all these things, right?
Yeah.
Which is genius because the stupid tax that you paid was probably at least $360,000, which is easily more $720, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
They're saving, they're getting what they're paying you to learn is, 5 cents on the dollar.
And that's just one aspect of it. So you asked me the area, how I could have sheltered some more money.
Yeah.
Upon exit. So we closed the transaction, I'll say February to make simple. February 2022. A couple months later, we were approached by somebody and said, "Hey, we want to buy you."
After you had just
After
bought
I just bought in.
After you just bought in.
After I just bought in.
So that was when so he was wanting to take some chips off the table.
So you
bought in.
And then we were approached by private equity and said, "Hey, we want to look at acquiring you." And we were like, I just turned 29. And I was like, why? I just bought in. I still had minority. I didn't have majority. But our entire plan was for my business partner to keep working. And then when he wanted to retire, I was going to buy the remaining equity or potentially bring in a partner, and I would pay him out like an annuity. That was our roadmap. We would keep just living life the way it is. I was writing $26,000 a month to the bank to pay off the loan, and we were just going to keep moving forward.
Wow.
But then
it's a hefty payment, by the way. I've got some that are that size.
But it was a 3-year note.
Yep.
So it was a 3-year note at 5. You can do the math.
Same.
5.25% interest rate.
It's pretty close.
So it was It was back when you could get money from banks, and now it's another story.
Good freaking luck, bro.
But then we got these offers, and we looked at the offer we got. The difference between the first offer and the last offer was a whole 1x more. And we were like, we gotta
do it.
Because I looked at it, I was like, okay, worst came to worst. It happened. I got fired again. Could I, from that payout, would my family be fine? Would I have to go out tomorrow and find work if I got fired? I didn't. I was fortunate we never touched our savings account after getting fired the second time. And I just didn't have enough time to prepare for the tax burden.
Got it.
So one thing
it comes quick.
It comes very quick. And one thing I tell all my clients, and I learned this from my now mentor, who is a mentor that literally all we talk about things you're not supposed to talk about: money, faith, and politics and faith. The 3 things you're not talking about. That's what our group, those are the things we talk about.
That's cool.
So one thing he introduced me to is the Augusta rule,
Mm-hmm.
which was created because of the masters.
Yeah.
Where you can rent your personal your business can rent out your personal house. Like, granted, was it gonna save me hundreds of thousands of dollars on taxes? No. But if you save $1,000 here, 20,000 here, 30,000 here,
Yeah.
that's why when we were in California, you picked what car I have.
Mm-hmm.
You never saw my car ever, and you're like, I guarantee you have it, Yukon Denali, and I do. Because
Which was wacky, by the way. That was crazy.
the only reason I bought it was to write it off. That was it.
Yeah.
Because I bought it in December of 2022 because the business was still operating.
Mm-hmm.
It was either buy an $85,000 car or pay another $85,000 in taxes.
Yep. A lot of successful agents and agency owners that they buy and write off a new vehicle every 2 years, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do it now when they still have the bonus depreciation because that's slowly dwindling away.
Mm.
But to get the full depreciation, 5 years is the magic number
Got it.
because you can depreciate.
So every 5 years.
Yeah. Because that's right.
I've heard. Is it the same with jets?
I'm not to the jet level yet.
Are you getting close?
No, not even close. Once I hit my escape velocity, which we talk about in the Wealth Coach program, that I'm a part of, then I'll consider a jet.
Let's
but
go.
until then, I'm not.
I like that. I'm in for a plane.
I have.
You saw how hard it is to fly here.
Yes, very hard. I went to Atlanta before here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna wait down here.
Yeah.
And then back up. I was on a plane for 4 hours today.
Yeah, Atlanta's way out of the way. Why didn't you fly through, like, do you have Delta? Do you have United?
I flew on Delta.
Yeah, that's the only options through Atlanta for you, Delta. But do you have United?
Yeah, I had credits on Delta.
Okay, I was fixed because you could have went through Chicago and been.
You know how
much
cheap
quicker.
I am. I used all flight credits to get here.
Nice.
I paid my $80 rental car and my $200 hotel.
Your first class?
Yes.
I mean, that's how I prefer to fly too. I can't say much anymore.
A1.
Yeah.
1A.
Yeah.
Window seat every time.
Yeah, 1A. If it's when you start saying A1, made me think about Southwest and the way they board, which is a freaking disaster. I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got so many angles I could take. I can't believe we've already been on here for freaking 26 minutes. It's flown by. This is
fun.
Unbelievable. It's a lot of fun,
I'm
man.
enjoying this.
Me too. And you were like, what do we talk about? I'm like, you'll find out.
The viewers are going to find out when I find out.
Yeah, true. Pretty much. What advice would you give to someone who is making, like, they're just starting to figure this business out and they're wanting to start, like, structurally, let's start with structure. Advice for structuring an agency correctly before you start scaling.
You need...
You gotta add your chicken scratch real quick.
I got to write my chicken scratch.
We've learned he can't talk and write at the same
Oh,
time.
no. If you... When my wife watches this, she's going to be like, Mike, you're supposed to be talking. I was like, I only...
Yeah.
It's the same thing, personal. But when I eat food, I eat one thing at a time. I'll eat the fries.
You're one of those.
I'll eat the bread. I'll eat the steak. Whatever. I'll eat literally one thing until it's gone.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to the next. I don't mix.
I mean, I know some other psychos like that too.
But I think when it comes to structuring, it's kind of going off of the 4 C's.
Okay.
Code. I'm not telling you got to be a coder. But what I mean by that is you got to have like the technology behind that automation.
Yeah.
AI. It's not going anywhere. It's like we need to have systems behind the scenes that can allow you to go from 500 clients to 5,000 clients and it still be operating.
Yep.
The other thing you need is content. And it's not these YouTube videos, bring out your phone, go to Instagram. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. It's something called standard operating procedure, an SOP.
Yeah, that's good.
Because with SOPs, you need to, when you scale, you're not just scaling clients, you're scaling employees.
Correct.
You need to have a warehouse of documents that says, this is how we do things. Literally on my plane here, I was giving out one of my secrets. I was writing an SOP for my salesperson to sell by chat. Something I learned from my mentor, who learned it from his mentor, that it is literally a process that, so if you ever slide in my DMs, you're probably going to be put through this exact same conversation, because this is what I do for everybody. I don't care if it's me I'm talking to you. It's just how I can figure out what your goal is.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start if you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Facebook, whatever, I reach out to you. 99% of the time it's me. And I say, hi, Cody. Are you here for the content, or are you here to grow your business? And I see what you say.
That's good.
Because if you say content, okay, here's an offer. Free. Like, here's a free book.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a free course, whatever it is. If you're here to grow your business, okay, now we're going to go to the weeds. And it goes through qualifying and goes through all that. But where I'm getting at is, when you scale, because I have this SOP, I can give it to my sales rep and say, hey, here's how you do this.
That's good.
If you have a client, like, you guys salespeople, I challenge you. See, I'm giving Cody homework. He brings me to his podcast. I'm giving him homework.
This is not good.
I challenge you to have your top salesperson out there write down everything, how they do it. Objectives, whatever they are, write it down. How do they answer it? And then give that SOP to sales rep that's struggling. That sales rep is going to learn something from that SOP, implement that, and now they're going to turn it around.
It's good.
I would rather spend 2 hours creating one SOP and get 100 sales rep up and running than not have an SOP and try to get 100 sales reps up and running.
That's a good point. That's a huge piece and part of a business of scaling, duplicating people. That's big. That's big.
My executive assistant booked my rental car. He went to my executive assistant SOP, how to book a rental car.
Shut up. You already made an SOP.
My executive assistant has an SOP, and that's the thing, is these SOP are living documents. Like, it is going to be, it's never once and done.
Are you going to share that in the workshop tomorrow?
No, I'm doing the perfect calendar tomorrow.
Okay. I like that, by the way.
But the thing is with the SOP is, like, I don't have to tell my assistant that, hey, I book with Avis, I like a car or a truck. If the truck's $100 more, stick with the car. Like, it's all in the SOP. And
$100.
I told you I'm cheap. I'm cheap in areas. My wife's like, she's going to watch this. She goes, you wear $450 pair of jeans. Like, you aren't cheap. I'm like, some areas I am.
What brand is $450 for jeans?
Blue Delta jeans.
I don't even know what that is.
They're made out of Mississippi.
I'm not bougie enough, man.
They're so nice.
Blue Delta.
Fully custom, 16 different measurements.
Blue Delta.
I have 6-8 pairs of them. They're really nice.
Jeez Louise.
And this belt even Blue Delta.
There's an SOP for your wife on how to shop for you?
No, because I buy my clothes. She buys me the T-shirts I wear 90% of the time when I'm at home with Old Navy. It's like, yes, I'll have nice jeans, but then I'll wear a $9 Old Navy shirt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wear all my 8% T-shirts. Like the T-shirt Keith has on right now, the 8% Springfield. I was rocking that this weekend. Yeah.
But back, like, with the giving that document, then I don't have to answer a question. And, when you scale, you get pulled in, Cody, I need this, Cody, I need that.
It's a freaking nightmare.
But if it's all in an SOP, it's like, guys, it's in this document. Go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
How much time are you going to save? I went golfing with somebody 2 weeks ago, and I gave him 2 nuggets. I'm not going to share it on here because I'm going to make you guys work for it. But he texted me the next day. He goes, my assistant is so happy. I just saved 2 hours per day. 2 nuggets saved him 2 hours per day.
It's a lot of time.
That is 10 hours a week.
Yeah, it's
500 hours a year.
It's a week a month.
And now, what's your time worth? Which goes to buy back your time.
Mine's worth about $2,500 to $5K an hour.
So if you have 5K times 500,
Sure.
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
$100. It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But the other ones you need is collaboration, which that is all about the people.
Yes.
And you will resonate very well with this. There's two sayings I like. Good gets you on the team. Great keeps you on the team. I know you were talking about earlier that you guys might have to let somebody go, but the thing is, if you don't keep your weight,
It was a VA, just for the record.
sorry, it's not you. You're not gonna.
definitely
you're,
not
you're not.
Keith.
Keith,
Definitely not
Keith.
Keith.
You could show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
You can try to leave. Good luck.
that's where it's like you have to. It's all about the people and
Yeah.
you as the owner of the business.
I can't tell him anything. He just tells the world immediately after.
Hey, you told me this is
Kidding.
all open.
That's right. That's
But
right.
the thing is, you as the boss,
Yeah.
you need to know everybody on your team's goals and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And if
100%.
you don't, guess what? Somebody else will. They will leave.
Yes. That's what Lauren does better than me. That right there. Very well. Yeah. Very well.
7?
No. Not Lindsay.
Oh, Lauren.
Lauren.
Lauren, not Lindsay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like you have to know those little things
Correct.
because people don't quit jobs, they quit bosses.
Mm.
So if you don't have the collaboration, the culture on your team,
Yeah.
you're not going to have the scalability.
100%.
And then the last one
Don't
is,
give them the last C. Make them DM you on Instagram for the last C.
all right, that's fine.
You like that?
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
Simple. It's Mike Mathweg.
Boom. Mike Mathweg.
WEG.
Mathweg. Mike Mathweg. I want to see how many people we can get go follow this guy and DM him.
Yeah.
Code, content, collaboration. There's a fourth C for structuring. You're going to get it in Instagram. I like that, dude.
Just DM me 4 C's, and then you won't be put through the sub by chat.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And if we didn't have a freaking event to get to in 19 minutes, I would just stick around for another.
They can wait.
That's right. They can.
You're the boss. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
And you're paying the
I feel
bill.
bad making people wait, though. I am paying the bill. Yeah, that's for sure. Dude, this has been fun, man. I'm love what you do. You bring a ton of value. I appreciate you being involved and helping people. Also, you guys are about to see his social media presence freaking blow up. So go to his Instagram and check that out. Thanks for being on the podcast, and thanks for being in Springfield, Missouri.
Thanks for having me. Anytime.
Appreciate you, bro. Okay. Also, appreciate you guys, man, making it this deep in the podcast. Mike was just showcasing, like, he noticed our 100K, our silver 100K YouTube plaque that we won. Because you made it this far in the interview on YouTube, you can go to kaboomleads.com. You can try out our leads using coupon code YouTube to get 10% off your very first order. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for listening. Go follow Mike. See you on the next episode. Adios.